Want to feel totally immersed in a game that you start to think you're actually in it? Today I'm going to be revealing you guys 10 of the most ultra-realistic horror games in 2025. Let's not talk too much and move on to the video. By the way, subscribe! Number 1. Silent Hill F. Let's start off strong with a new Silent Hill game. This game has a twist which none of its predecessors had. Unlike the previous Silent Hill games, Silent Hill F's story is based in 1960s Japan rather than the present Freedom Country. Published by Konami Digital Entertainment, Silent Hill F, instead of James Sunderland, leans its focus on a high school student named Hinako Shimizu who is exploring a fictional town of Ebizugaoka. The protagonist has to navigate the town, which is engulfed in fog, and the journey ahead is in sunshine and rainbows as she has to fight through grotesque monsters to ensure survival. If we do know anything about Silent Hill games, is that they never cease to disappoint gamers. Number 2. Dream Cage. Dream Cage is a game that deals with sleep paralysis and gives you a new perspective about the people who are affected by it. You know that sleep paralysis must be a terrifying experience, but wait until you have played the game. You must survive 5 nights of sleep deprivation and deal with 25 different anomalies. And the cherry on top, all of these incidents are based on real life. You will regret the day you bought a PC and a microphone because there are events in the game where you have to stay silent, do not let the monsters catch you. Very exciting stuff. And the graphics and the sound design are brilliant as it does not miss the chance to scare you at the most random moments. Number 3. Directive 8020. This game is developed by Supermassive Games and Dark Pictures Anthology, who dropped one of the scariest games which ever existed, and that was Until Dawn. If you know anything about Until Dawn, you must be aware of the decision-making moments which can hugely differ the ending of the game, and may even lead to the permanent deaths of multiple characters. And just like that, Directive 8020 is a game dependent on different choices which lead to different endings. In this game, you can play as 5 playable protagonists. The main 5 protagonists are the operators of the colony ship Cassiopeia, which crash lands on Tosedi F in a planet 12 light years away from Earth. Lashana Lynch, who plays the role of the astronaut and the pilot of the Cassiopeia, is the leading protagonist of the game. Rest assured, the game's graphics and the story is very well made. Number 4. The Occultist. Talk about good graphics. The Occultist at first glance is a very graphically impressive game, and of course it's made in Unreal Engine 5. In this first-person game, you play as Alan, an occultist who can interact with the other reality. Alan remembers his father mentioning to him about a place called Godstone that had been cursed and abandoned for 50 years. Even though he encounters skeptics along the way, he is determined to find out what is haunting Godstone and to find his father, who hopefully is in Godstone. And also, like the previous games discussed, the Occultist is going to be available in Windows, PS5 and Xbox. Number 5. Hollow Body. Unlike the previously discussed games, the Hollow Body setting is truly different. Hollow Body is like a cyberpunk retro horror game. I have to say there really hasn't been any popular horror games with these kind of setting combinations. In the following game, you play as Micah, an unlicensed black market shipper who is desperately trying to find her partner, Sasha, in a long-abandoned British city. You find an opportunity to rescue Sasha but get trapped in the city itself, where you have to fight through these kinds of monsters to find your partner. The combat is exactly like early 2000s Resident Evil games, which diversifies Hollow Body even more. The game is only available through Steam for now. Number 6. Killing Floor 3. Killing Floor 3 is a Doom-like zombie killing game that is about to release in 2025 on PS5, Windows, and Xbox. In the year 2091, a mega corporation known as Horsehand has produced an army of commandable zombie-like monsters known as Zeds. You and your team known as Nightfall is assigned to terminate these hordes and waves of zombies to eventually see through the end of Horsehand Corporation. You see various amounts of special guns used to mow and obliterate through hordes of Zeds. Number 7. The Casting of Frank Stone. The Casting of Frank Stone is also a supermassive developed game, and you know what that means. Yep, the game's ending is based on the decisions the character makes. This game is set in the same universe as Dead by Daylight, which if you don't know is an awesome game. The Casting of Frank Stone is set during the summer of 1980 in the town of Cedar Hills, Oregon. The game focuses on 4 young filmmakers who want to make a horror movie in an abandoned steel mill. Like the usual, the game has quick-time events and a branching narrative. The game has impressive cinematics, storytelling, and amazing graphics, which is the usual for supermassive games. Number 8. Reanimal. Reanimal is going to be an upcoming horror game and is developed by the same developers as Little Nightmares. You have to play as a brother and a sister trying to rescue their friends from a hell of some sort, which like Little Nightmares leads you to solve puzzles, navigate through horrifying events, and run from disfigured animals. It truly has that deranged movie-like atmosphere. Every frame of the game is like an art piece like that of Little Nightmares. What the game also will probably get from its brother is the being on edge feel. Number 9. Dying Light the Beast. The Beast is going to be the latest edition of the Dying Light series. The protagonist Kyle Crane, who had been presumed dead in the previous games, makes a surprising comeback and aims to seek revenge on Baron, a man who had been experimenting on Kyle for 13 years. players. The game is intended to be played in first person like the previous editions. The game is set in a rural area infested with zombies. Even though zombies are not much powerful in the daylight, but during the night it's another story. You will be able to navigate through the city by parkour and using 4x4 vehicles. Kyle Crane also has the beast mode, which enables him to have superhuman power when using bare hand attacks. This game is very good in terms of graphics and gameplay. Number 10. Chronos: The New Dawn. Developed by the same team as Silent Hill 2 Remake, Chronos: The New Dawn deals with a post-apocalyptic-like world. The game follows a traveler who works for an organization known as a collective. The traveler has to survive a futuristic wasteland and go back to 1980s Poland. The traveler is tasked with bringing back some few selected people who didn't survive the change, a cataclysmic event where the other human beings turn into monsters known as orphans. This is definitely going to be a phenomenal game in terms of story, gameplay, and graphics, and it is also developed by an experienced development team. Well, that's all for this video, and drop some topics I would want to make a video about next, and subscribe.